Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Olive, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some tips. I'm gonna basically give you some advice on how collaborations work and how you can also get involved. A lot of you have asked me how to reach out to brands. I'm gonna share all that with you, so stay tuned. So firstly, grab yourself a little bevy. There's always a bevy involved, you know me. Maybe take some notes down, do what you gotta do, and here we go. The good news is that it's almost autumn, completely unrelated, but look at me vibing with autumn with my candle and my sweater, and I love it. But the real good news is more and more brands are now open to working with micro-influencers. I don't know the exact figures, but it's basically someone who doesn't have an insane amount of followers. A lot of brands are more open to working with someone who has less followers but has a really stable community than someone who has millions and maybe aren't as connected to their followers. Which is great because it gives people like me an opportunity to actually collaborate with the brand even though I am not flowing with millions and millions of followers. We like that. So you're probably wondering, how many followers do you need to have? Now, I don't exactly know the figures and every brand is different, but I've seen people who have maybe like 1,500 to 2,000 followers work with brands. Now, I don't know if they're getting paid or if they're just getting gifted, and a lot of people also don't say if they're advertising something, which is actually against the law. Everyone should be saying if they are sponsored. That should be made very, very clear. Obviously, I can only speak from my experience, so I'm gonna be sharing my tips. If we're talking on Instagram, even on YouTube, I would say 10K is like a good place to really start reaching out to brands and trying to make money out of collaborations. At the end of the day, you are a marketing tool and a brand is looking to advertise their products through you. Instead of paying a big cooperation, they're choosing to pay people who genuinely have a trusted and good connection with their audience, and therefore it makes more sense, I suppose. So my number one tip is to be careful. Be careful what you are offered and be careful how it reflects on you, and be careful that people are not using you. Now, at the beginning, you are probably going to receive a lot of free gifts, and brands will contact you to tell you that they want to send you a free product in return for a post or whatever. And yes, it's going to be exciting. Don't get me wrong. I've been in that place where it was super exciting to get free things. I couldn't believe that people wanted to send me free things. I was like, who am I? And yes, I enjoyed it for a while, but at one point you do need to understand that you have worked really hard to build a community that you trust and that trust you, more importantly, and you don't want to take advantage of your community by just advertising all sorts of crap that you're getting sent gifted because you like receiving free things. So just be careful not to fall into that trap. I've seen it many times, and I've also accepted things that I'm like, did I really need to accept that, or did I do it because I just enjoyed the fact that someone was giving me something for free? I don't do this anymore unless I really want the item and I will find it useful and I genuinely think it's a good product and I'm like, okay, my community will actually like this. I've actually seen some huge influencers who never ever disclaim that it's an advertisement or that it's gifted. Very big ones. I'm talking people who have like 2 million followers and they constantly are advertising and they are never saying that it's an advertisement when it's very obvious that it is. But a good way to reach out to a brand is just send them an Instagram message and just tell them a little bit about yourself, tell them a little bit about your niche, what you're doing, and tell them also an idea of how you are thinking of advertising their product. Give them a video idea or a picture idea, something they can imagine and visualize and be like, oh wow, yeah, that would look good. You will stand out with your email or your message if you actually put some effort into what you're gonna create. Give them a reason to be like, yeah, I want her. So the best way to do it is obviously through an email. Try and find a marketing manager and send them, or social media manager, a PR team, and send them a message directly because they take care of the whole social media area. Or maybe let's say you are also getting emails from brands and you're wondering, like, do I trust this? Do I not? Now, a few ways that you know it's a trusted brand is they'll always address you by your name. When they name you by your YouTube channel name or by your Instagram page name, don't love that. It doesn't seem very personal to me and it feels like they're just sending a bunch of emails out, which I know they are. You don't want it to seem like that, so never ever, even if you are someone who wants to send out your product right now, don't address people by their channel names. Make an effort and actually find out what their name is. If you get Hi Dear, it's definitely a company that is spamming everyone's accounts, and I'm not saying they're fake. They are probably real. I've worked with a few that have called me dear, but they're not the best and they can be a little bit dodgy, so So just be very careful with who you decide to work with. Also, they can be hackers, so be very careful of getting hacked. I was once hacked. I can tell you my hacker story if you want, let me know. But it was on my Instagram account, it got stolen. I managed to get it back, thank God, but it was very scary, and it was because of one of these silly emails that I decided to open. So be very, very careful what you open. I'm quickly gonna talk about negotiations and media kit. Now, a media kit is something that you should have prepared. I'm actually going to link to you guys down below a template of a media kit that you can use yourself. What it should show is a little bit about you, your channel statistics and demographics, who you've worked with before, like brands you've worked with before. If you haven't yet, don't worry about it. That's not necessary. But once you start developing more work with brands and you collaborate more, you can add those on there too to show the new brands, like this is who I've worked with before. And then also link all your channels and all of your social media accounts so that they can easily just click on the icon or on the name and it will take them instantly to your account. Also, of course, you need to have your prices on there. You need to have your price range and how much you charge for certain deliverables. Deliverables are basically like a story or a post, a video on your YouTube channel, a mention, a dedicated video. There's all sorts of different videos and things that there are. So I could do a part 2 on this video if you want to know really detailed things about what things mean in this industry. Just make sure that you're honest and fair with your pricing. Try and evaluate your videos, see how many views you're getting, see how many subscribers you have, and try and be fair on how much you should charge. But again, it's personal. You need to find what your value is as a creator. You know this best. Through time, your value will go up and then you can negotiate a higher pay. If your videos are not doing so well, then you cannot charge so much. And by well, I mean if you're not getting that much of an engagement and you are not getting that many views, then you have to be honest with yourself. It's hard to say it, but it's the truth. Also, of course, they will always ask where your audience is from, so keep that in mind. Which country they're coming from, the value can be higher because it depends also on how wealthy the country is. Don't be afraid to negotiate. Never settle for a first price. If a brand gives you a price and says, this is what we want to pay you for this and this, evaluate that and then sit down and actually think about, is this how much I'm worth? Are they stealing from me? Or is this genuinely how much I should be worth if you are charging way too much? But if you think they're trying to, obviously negotiate because they're a brand and that's something that they're gonna do, then you should negotiate back. Keep negotiating. Negotiate until you're both satisfied and you will find a middle ground. It's super important to negotiate. A lot of people are afraid to do it because they're scared to get rejected, but never, ever, ever put your value down because someone doesn't want to pay you. Who cares? They can work with someone else then, and you will work with someone else too that actually will appreciate and value your audience and your hard work that you're going to put into promoting their product. So don't underestimate your value. Please don't do this. I've done it in the past and it is not worth it. Companies will take advantage of you. They will, because they know that if you say no, someone else will do it, probably for free. And I know that's the bit that scares us because we're like, oh, someone else is gonna take it if I don't do it. But you cannot degrade yourself like this. You are worth way more and do not let them take advantage of you. Now, the last thing I quickly want to talk about is brand ambassadors. What are brand ambassadors? I've had people reach out to me on Instagram and be like, Olive, this brand wants me to be a brand ambassador. Should I trust them? What does that mean? I get these messages all the time from brands. They're like, hey, we have this new swimwear collection. You want to be my brand ambassador? Then click this survey and fill it out and you will become our brand ambassador and you will receive 20% off any order. Like, that is just, don't go there. Do not click, do not just do not. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why. What these brands like to do is grab you on their seller wagon. Firstly, any brand that asks you to pay for the shipping of the product, and even worse, asks you to pay for the entire product, they do this thing where they like to say, oh, just pay the shipping once and then from then on it's all gonna be free. They're never going to contact you again. I am 100% sure of that. They just want you to pay for your own product pretty much with a discount code, but it's really just a huge price on a product that's value is so low. You're gonna buy that, you're gonna advertise it, and you're gonna pay for your own shipping. Any brand that genuinely wants to work with you will send you the items for free and the shipping will be on them. All you've got to do is literally create the content for them, post it, and then you get paid. Or the paying process can be very different. Some brands like to pay half in advance and then the other 50% after the content has been created and uploaded. Every brand works differently, so I can't really go into that much detail of how to get paid. The one thing that I'm gonna say to end this video, because I don't want this to be too long, I can make a part 2 if you're interested, but the one thing that I am going to say is always, and I mean always, no matter how small the fee is that you're getting, always sign a contract. Do you hear me? Always. Okay, I hope I made that clear. I've had so many times I've come to almost an agreement with a brand. I asked for a contract and they never reply to me again. because they want to use you. The best are when they have contracts that you can sign online, electronic signature. Those are the best, but they're quite expensive to have apparently. Not every brand has this. Obviously, if the fee is very low, you're not gonna probably sue them, but it's just a safe thing to have and know you've both signed a contract and everything is clear on it. Make sure you read it twice. Be sure of what you're signing up to. It could say on that contract that you're not allowed to promote any other fitness thing for 5 years, and you've just signed that and agreed. So don't do that. Be careful what you sign. Anyway, I'm gonna go, guys. This video was quite long. There's so much info. I still have so much to say, but I hope that you gained some kind of insight into some of it, hopefully. And let me know down below if you have any other questions. I'll be very happy to answer them. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is OliveiraDarko, and you guys know that you're always welcome to ask me any questions on there. Anything you want, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already for more tips, tricks, advice, and honest Wednesday chats. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate having you here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.